So the announcement came out the other day that we are going to get, the remaster of Sonic Generations, a game that honestly I enjoyed playing and was touted one of the best Sonic 3D games in recent memory. Now, as you can see, I have the game itself, and and of course, it was also promoted under the 3D label that they were doing at that time. And in case you guys don't know what the 3D label is, basically, Xbox. I don't know if PlayStation 3 was doing it, but I know the Xbox 360 was experimenting with 3D games. So they would give you like 3D glasses and everything to play these, to go along with these games. Or you would have to go out and get 3D glasses that were workable with this. So they would promote it like that. And Sonic Generations wasn't the only game. And if you watched Angry Joe show, during the first couple of years of that, several of the games he did play were in 3D or promoted as 3D, like Thor, like Green Lantern, Iron Man, and so on. And there were many others. But for some reason they want a 3D kick, and Sonic Generations joined that 3D kick. Now I played the whole thing, passed it, enjoyed it, loved it, and it's a great game. It's a great story element, basically, somewhat similar. I wouldn't say similar, but I would assume, basically, when did this game come out? Let me check. Can't really see that there. Let me check here. When did Sonic Generations come out? Hold on. It came out in 2011. Came out in 2011. So we can assume that around that time frame, Ian Flynn got a little inspired by this. Yes, he did a side story, another time, another place in the Archie books for it, but I think some of the elements inspired him, to go with the reboot the way he did. Another time, another place, and so on. But yeah, the game, in my opinion, is really good. And if you haven't played it yet, you have to pick it up and play it. You can find it at the Xbox store and and I think the PlayStation store to download as a classic item or something. I think you can do that. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I have it on my Xbox One S right now, to where when I pop this in, I could just play it, no problems, whatsoever. And if I ever get an Xbox Series X, the big refrig box they call it, I'll probably pop it in there as well and see if that works, and allows me to play it from there. But the reason I bring this up is because, of course, the announcement came out the other day that they are doing a remaster of it, but in addition to the remaster, they're adding Shadow the Hedgehog. That's right, they're adding Shadow the Hedgehog to the game, and apparently the reason he's going to be there is he's going to have a whole new story campaign added to the original generation storyline. This is a part, that's a part of this, I should say. That's a part of this, and apparently they're going to cross together. They're going to kind of they're going to kind of connect together or something. I'm not really sure. There is word going around that the reason Shadow's cosplay is going to happen is because of what happens at the end of this. So it's gonna bleed into his story campaign, and go from there. And there's gonna be elements from this game in particular, as well as Sonic Adventure 2, that's going to be incorporated. Like with Sonic Adventure 2, one of the bosses is going to be a biohazard lizard, and the main antagonist is going to be this guy. Hold on for a sec. It's going to be this guy right here. I don't know if you can see that. It's going to be this guy right here, Black Doom. Yeah, that's right. Black Doom is going to be the main antagonist. And again, the way this all comes together, it's supposed, the way this all comes together, I should say, it's late too. It's 12:33 in the morning when I'm doing this. I do apologize if I'm fumbling on my words. But the way this supposedly goes all together, from what I can tell, we still got to get more details. But from what I could tell, basically what happens originally here in Sonic Generations with the ending and all that is going to, as they say, bleed into this, and it's going to result in him having his story happen, and then that's all going to connect together, and we might get a different, different boss endings, and all that to go with it. Again, we're going to find out more detail in the next several months because the game is scheduled to release in autumn of this year. So we'll have to see exactly what details they give us and everything in the near future. I mean, obviously, we're not going to find out at E3 because there is no more E3. The closest I think we'll find out is San Diego Comic Con, where we will get a first full trailer to Sonic 3. And by around that time, we will get maybe more information on Sonic X Shadow Generations. That's what it's called, Sonic X Shadow Generations. So we'll probably get more information then, and I look forward to it. But apparently, from what I'm hearing and other people are hearing, and maybe I'm wrong, correct me if I am, the story, the original Generation story is going to, is going to bleed in. The original Generation story here is going to bleed into what's going to be the all-new story campaign for Shadow. So that'll be interesting, and potentially it's going to interweave with them all coming together for one last all-new climactic boss battle against Black Doom in the process. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting. It might be Black Doom and that clock monster as well, that time monster that Eggman, unleashed in Sonic Generations. So that'll be an interesting development if it does happen. Again, we'll still find out more. We'll still find out, I should say, more as time goes on. But it'll be interesting to say the least. Really interesting. And speaking of Sonic 3, of course, like I said, we might get our first full-on trailer this summer at San Diego Comic-Con. We might even get one during the Super Bowl. Who knows? But speaking of which, they did come out with a teaser trailer, mostly a teaser logo trailer, yesterday that showed what the logo is going to look like, what the image is going to look like, and it had a couple of notable things about it. One, at the end of the trailer, you heard this laugh, and obviously it's Robotnik's laugh, Eggman's laugh, I should say. And it was confirmed today, the same day as the trailer dropped, the logo teaser trailer dropped. It was confirmed that Jim Carrey is coming back to reprise his role as Dr. Eggman, most notably, probably just as Dr. Eggman, Robotnik, basically evolving, I should say, into Eggman. For this film, because he did say that the only way he'd probably come back, because he was basically going into retirement, the only way he'd come back is, as Robotnik, reprise his role, is if he got to wear a fat suit representing how Robotnik looks currently. As a matter of fact, I think, that is right there. I think, hold on for a sec. No, maybe. Maybe it's in here, maybe it's not. It's kind of buried, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, it's buried a little bit. I'm not going to dig it out. But, he said he wants to wear a fat suit to represent Robotnik as he is, in the games and such. So, apparently, in my opinion, from what I can probably tell, he got what he wanted. He got, that opportunity to be presented to him. And it only makes sense if you're going to add it. It only makes sense if you're going to have Shadow involved. You got to have Eggman involved, and everything. They did. The other thing that they did do is they had this little instrumental at the end, along with the laugh, and the instrumental melody there was basically "Live and Learn." It was basically "Live and Learn" originally performed by Crush 40 for the ending of Sonic Adventure 2, as well as it was played at the ending of the Sonic X adaptation of that story. And that was mostly the Japanese version of Sonic X, not the English version. Now, along with that, they did announce a couple of new cast members. As well that are going to be part of the film. And I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to say their names as best as I can. But the cast members they did announce are Christine Ritter, who Chris of 3C Films is assuming, just based on her acting and her voice, is going to voice Rouge the Bat. Then we got Aaliyah Brown, if you will. She is a young actress. I think she was in. Let me see if I can bring her name up here, so I can get some information correctly. think she was in. Let me see. Aaliyah Brown. Um, she is Nicole Kidman's daughter in Nine Perfect Strangers. Um, she has. Let's see. I think she worked in. Oh, she's going to be in Furzio. She's going to be in Furzio. Furzio. She's going to be in Furzio. She's going to be in Fusio, the new Mad Max prequel. She's going to be in that. So that's going to be interesting. Let's see what her biography says here on IMDb. Let's see what we got here so we can figure out what she is. It says she's Nicole Kidman's daughter in Nine Perfect Strangers. And let's see. She's been in 3,000 Years of Longing with Anne Paquette, Untrue Spirit, and in The Sting, the latest horror manifesto as well. So she's been in some films, but apparently she's going to play Maria, from what Chris 3C Films can deduce. It looks like she'll play Maria. You also have James Wolk, who's going to be in it. Sophia Pernandes, who I'm assuming is going to voice Amy. That's just my opinion. Cristo Fernandez and Jomaine Tacone. So, nice, interesting list of actors and actresses for the film. Can't wait for it when it comes out. But yeah, they did release the teaser trailer yesterday. It looks really good. Live and